أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Welcome to Islamic Circle, brothers and sisters. We've been away for 2 years due to the COVID. On Zoom we did 100 sessions, and all our speakers, including Dr. Dubayan, alhamdulillah, we all appeared on Zoom for 2 years. So Islamic Circle continued. Now we are back in a beautiful place, our home I should say, London Central Mosque, and we've chosen Dr. Dubayan to give a main talk. And the talk is called Taqwa. Dr. Dubayan, you're on.
Jazakallah khair. Sorry. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Dear brothers, dear sisters, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As Surah Durrani said, Mr. Durrani said, let me start with welcoming you, all of you, after the time of COVID. And especially today also we have a group of sisters or daughters actually who come honoring us today also to be with us here today. I'm so grateful they join us. And during the COVID time, of course, we talk on Zoom about many things. Myself and other speakers gratefully actually covered that time. Alhamdulillah, now we come to the normal situation. And today we start here. Hopefully, then next week we move to the whole day, or maybe we continue here. It depends on the programs of the center. The subject, actually I haven't chosen it. Brother Durrani is the one who chose the subject as usual. It is Taqwa. And Taqwa is a main, how can I say, it's a key word in the Quran. Let's put it that way. Taqwa, first of all, in Arabic, what does taqwa mean? For many Muslims, especially new Muslims, those who do not speak any of the Islamic languages, like European Muslims, they don't know exactly what the meaning of it. And those maybe who came from a background where Islamic languages like Urdu, Persian, Turkish, maybe the same word is there in their languages. Taqwa in Arabic means protection. That is the original meaning of it. Ittaqa, it means make something protected or protect himself. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, Ya ayyuha alladhina amanu ittaqullah, in many actually verses in the Quran, tens of verses, that word ittaqullah, it means have yourself protected from the punishment of Allah. So taqwa means protection. That is the general meaning. This is the meaning in the lexicon, in the dictionary of Arabic. That's the original one. As we know in the Quran, when the Quran was revealed in Arabic, actually to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Quran used a lot of words, Arabic words, but gave them a new meaning. Sometimes, or widening the meaning or narrowing the meaning, either this one or the other one. And for example, the word zakat in Arabic means growth. Anything that is, you talk about trees when they grow, this is zakat. Money when it grows, this is zakat. And the Quran has taken this word from the lexical meaning and then put it in the word of the worship, which means zakat. It indicates that is the more you give zakat, then your money will grow up more. This is exactly the meaning of it. And salah, of course, means worship in general, and then worship, it is the 5 times a day. And other, riba means increasing. And now after Islam, he meant with it the increasing in money as interest. If you give somebody a money and then you say, okay, I will give you 1,000, next year you are going to pay it to me 1,100. This is riba in Islam, which is forbidden. And this is riba, the word itself came from Arabic, it means increasing, any increasing. If the water increasing, this is riba. That's the original meaning of it. But Islam and the Quran has taken the word to use it in Islamic special context, so it has another meaning in Islam. This is a general rule. For those who are interested in Arabic or interested in reading the Quran, this is very important to know that. The word taqwa is something similar to this. The word taqwa means protection. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeated this word many times. Ittaqullah, at-taqwa, ahlul taqwa wa ahlul maghfirah. In many verses. Actually, more than maybe 140 verses mention the word taqwa itself, or ittaqu. It's imperative word, verb, to say ittaqullah, have a protection. This is the meaning of it. What does it mean, taqwa? How we have protection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? It's a general meaning. It means that is, you are very careful about yourself, avoiding the evil things, doing the good things, following the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whenever you do this, or anybody who does this, who is doing this, he's making protection from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's protecting himself from being punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or being in danger in religion. In Islam, as we all know, and from the hadith or from the Quran, this life is temporary life. It doesn't matter how many years we live, 100, even 150. As we hear sometimes in some stories, some people live more than this. But one day we are going to come to the end. In Islam, there is one of the articles of Iman, the belief, that is, we believe in the Day of Judgment. The Day of Judgment, when all people coming before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be judged about what they have all done, good or bad. Then it means the taqwa, it means you have to make your protection and preparing for that day when you come to it. The protection comes from now, from today. Think of it now, from now, not think of it in the last minute. The last minute, maybe there will be no time to do the good things that you wanted to do or you wish one day you do. So start from now to think about to make the taqwa in your life. How do I do the taqwa, the protection? I do it by doing the good things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked me to do. Of course, a lot of good things, good manners, good behavior, charity, taking care of my parents, doing good for everybody who is in need, having mercy in my heart about the poor people, about the weak people, about animals, about anything. Anything good, you just do it. It comes with this. Then anything bad, you're supposed to avoid it. Avoiding, of course, harming other people, avoiding making people's life so difficult, causing problems to others, whatever the problems, physical problems, moral problems, oral problems, you talk about them or whatever, or making gossips or anything, damaging their reputation. This is all evil things. And when you avoid all these bad things and you follow the good things, that is exactly you are doing the taqwa. This is the taqwa which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran. And this is a very comprehensive and general meaning word. One of the early scholars in the early generations of Islam, somebody asked him, he said, what is taqwa? Can you define the taqwa for me? He said then to the one who asked him, have you ever walked in a slippery road or slippery way when there is mud and maybe it's raining and it's like slippery? He said, yes. He said, what would you do if you walk in a very thin road or way and this is a very slippery road? What are you going to do? He said, I would be very careful and taking care of myself, stepping firmly. I know where I can. He said, this is the taqwa. When you are be careful about your life, when you are careful about your life, when you watch really what you are doing, when you keep yourself aware about your behaviors, about your actions, as if you are walking in a slippery way, this is the taqwa. So he just tried to give it definition in a very short thing. Another one of all the scholars, somebody asked him, he said, well, what is taqwa? Which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned. Allah said, ittaqullah, then the taqwa in the Quran. What does it mean? He said, do you think, he gave another example. Another scholar but gave something similar to this. He said to him, if you walk in the for example, in the forest, in the wild, and there are a lot of trees, okay, with thorns, a lot of thorny trees around you, what would you do? He said, I would protect my eyes, my face, I would put my hand into private. He said, this is exactly the taqwa in your life. Do the same in your life, like when you walk in the wood. Try to protect yourself. That means anything you think it could be dangerous for your belief, for yourself, try to avoid it. Anything you think it's bad for other people, try to avoid it. Anything you think it's good, try to do it. Do your best to do it, at least to wish in your heart the good intention and the good wishes for other people. This is the taqwa in general. Including, of course, all the good actions, including all the worship, Siyam Ramadan, fasting of Ramadan. It's something Allah asks us to do it, then we do it. Praying every day, then we do the prayer because Allah asks us to do it. Going for Hajj, if we are of course, if we are able, this is the condition, someone is able, to go, then we can go. And we have time for that, then we can go. Doing zakat, if we are rich, also this is one of the good things that Allah asks us to do it. Then we do it. The bad things Allah asks us not to do it, then we avoid them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't want you, for example, to gamble with your money. Then we avoid it. Don't drink alcohol, then we avoid it. Okay? Don't commit these things, don't go close to shirk, then we avoid the shirk. And other things, many, many things in Islam. Avoid riba, which is the interest of money, then we avoid it. So when you do the good things that Allah asks you to do, when you avoid the bad things that Allah asks you to avoid, this is, you are really doing the taqwa for yourself. It's you are protecting yourself as a person who is trying to protect his eyes when he walks among a lot of trees, or he is walking in a slippery road. Then maybe he will slip, and then he will have his leg or arm broken. This is the taqwa exactly as it is in the Quran. It's a general word for all the meanings of Islam. Now, if someone has this in his heart, and every Muslim should have this in his heart, at least if he cannot have it all the time in his actions, but at least he should remember this meaning all the time. If someone has this, that will lead you to another level. What is the other level? The other level is to be humble. To be humble person. Whatever you do for yourself, you should not be arrogant and think, what is, I am better than the others. And this is also a kind of taqwa. If you think you are not better than the others, that means you are encouraging yourself to be even better. Try to do, okay, I'm not the best one, so I will try to be the best. All the time, when you have this meaning in your heart, you will do your best. You will do your best to be in the front. The moment you believe you are in the front, then you might get lazy. Then you will stay, and then you will sleep. Then others will, of course, will go to the front, and you will be actually in the back. This is exactly like when some people, everyone is a knowledge seeker. The moment you think you are a scholar, you don't need any more knowledge, then you are, in this moment, you are arrogant. You are ignorant. You are ignorant in this moment, you believe that is you have all the knowledge. So it's the same. When you have this, actually, to be humble all the time, remembering your actions. Whatever good you do, well, okay, that's not enough. Whatever bad you do, then you say, okay, I will never do it again. Astaghfirullah al-azim. I will do some things good to cover it, and then I promise myself I will not do it again. That will lead to two things. One of them is the Tawba, which I talked already a long time ago about it. Tawba, it means giving up with all the bad things. When it's actually repentance, giving up with bad things in your life. Tawba is something that we should always remember it, almost every day. And the door or the gate of Tawbah never be closed till the last minute of our lives. The moment you're still breathing and you're still alive, you can say, Ya Allah, I give up all the bad things I'm doing. Forgive me for about what happened. I will never do it again. Be sure that is when you have a real intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept it, and He will delete all the old ones. Of course, without the rights of other people. Rights of other people, nobody can delete them. They must delete it themselves. I talk about Tawbah some time ago. Yeah. And then that will lead also the taqwa, if it's alive in our heart, that will lead to another level. What is the other level? Is the level of observation. We are observing ourselves. We are watching. Those who understand Islam and Iman in the right way, they keep always an eye on their hearts. Keep your heart always under your watch, under your control, under your eyes. This is the moment you think that is, well, if something is not good in my life, what is it? This thing, I have to correct it. Today, tomorrow, I'm going to correct another thing. Day after, I try to correct another thing. So try to watch yourself all the time and try to correct it. The life is a struggle. All life is a struggle. It's a kind of struggle. Even if you have everything available in your life, it is a kind of struggle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran said, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي كَبَدٍ. We have created mankind in struggling or suffering. How come? Everybody is in struggling. From the first moment, that is you come to this world, you are struggling. You are a child, you need food, your mom takes care of you, and your father takes care of you, and they are struggling, that is to keep you alive and to keep you healthy, and to keep you, okay, now you are young. The time of course, when you are in the school, it's a struggling. You have to study, you have to do your best, you have to do your homeworks, you have to do this. Finishing this, going to university, again, this is struggling. After that, you are looking for a job, it's a kind of struggling. Then you need to improve yourself in your job. Then you need to marry. When you marry, you have children, you have a wife, you have to take care of them. This is a kind of struggling. And then after that, you are old. Then maybe you have achieved what you planned for, maybe not. If you have done, then your struggling is to keep it. You don't lose it. If you haven't done it, then you are thinking again and struggling how to get it back. So it's a kind of till the last minute, till the last minute. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, He said, well, this life is a struggling. And it's something that is, you will suffer from it, whatever is available. And don't think, well, those people who are rich and they have big accounts in the bank, everything is okay with them, they enjoy 24 hours all the time. That's not true. They have another kind of struggling. Sometimes they have worries more than those people who are poor. Really, they have less satisfaction. Sometimes poor people are satisfied and happy and they enjoy the little they have. And those who have a lot, they don't enjoy that. So this is the life. It's going that way. This is how Allah created this life. And we should understand it that way because Allah mentioned this. So, but at the same time, Allah told us in the Quran also this life is a temporary life. It's not forever. Even if you struggle in this life and you have this taqwa in your heart, Allah is going to reward you at the Day of Judgment. You will relax, and this is the real paradise and real relaxation, where you don't need to be worried about anything after that. Nothing. You don't need, even about death, you don't need to worry because nobody is going to die in the Day of Judgment. Those who are go to the good way or the bad way, they are not going to die. Okay, so and you will be healthy. And everything that is you miss in this dunya, you will get it. I don't know how many millions doubled actually in the Day of Judgment, in paradise, inshallah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inshallah, to forgive us all and to take us all, inshallah, together to this. So this is the target which a Muslim or a mu'min, a believer, should keep it in his mind. The target of the last end, at the end. That sign at the end is the Day of Judgment. What is going to happen with me there? And when you remember this is the taqwa. When you remember this always, that is the observation, that is all the watching. You should have, always keep it in your heart. Everybody's heart must be like a watchtower, seeing always around you. What did you do today? What have you done yesterday? In that fighting with my friend, was I correct? I was wrong. When I did this to my sister or to my cousin or to my friend or to my boss or to my employee, was I correct or I was wrong? If I was wrong, honestly with myself, no, I was wrong, then I have to go then to correct it. That's it. Those people who do not watch that, who do not have this taqwa and this observation in their minds and watch, they are at risk. They are in danger. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will let you forget everything, then till the moment you forget yourself. When you forget yourself completely, then you will find yourself suddenly at the end, face to face with death, then there is no escape from this. That's it. Then you have all these open files behind you, which is very, very bad when you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with all these big files open. All these sins, all the bad things that is you have done to people, they will be open, actually. Either Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive them, and if they have rights to other people, then the other people also must forgive you. They must also delete it. And that's why in Islam, killing a person is it's maybe the biggest crime, because you cannot correct it when you do it. Any mistake you do it in your life, if you take somebody's money, you can go and say, well, forgive me, I did a mistake, I'm sorry, I admit this is your money back. Okay, when you talk badly about somebody, then you can apologize and you can correct it. But if someone kills another, how can he correct it? It's over. This record will be open till the last day, then when we meet with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is two rights, the right of Allah and the right of the person who was killed. And the right of Allah doesn't delete or remove the right of the person. The person himself must actually accept this. And when you go back to to study something about biographies of those pious people, the muttaqeen in the early generations, you will wonder really how these people are watching themselves. They watch themselves in a way that is we never even dreamt of at all. Some of them even exaggerated about this. It's so much. Yeah, I'll give you an example. When Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, the Abbasid Caliph, built Baghdad, the city, there were some lands, actually, for some people, those refused to sell it to the new state. And then Abu Ja'far, the Caliph, with the power of the Caliphate, then he confiscated these lands, and maybe he gave them something at that time to keep them happy, but they were not happy, actually, in that time. Anyway, they built the city in some areas, or not all of it. Some scholars in that time, they do not eat fruit from the city. Any fruit comes to them from the same city, they don't eat it. They eat the fruits from the villages outside. Why? And then they said, well, maybe this fruit which we eat it comes from this confiscated land, actually, without the satisfaction of the owners. So we don't eat it, it's haram. Look at this, how they watch that. Nobody thinks of this. Have we ever thought when we buy something or when we eat something that is, sometimes we don't. But look how they really watch even the small, tiny things. And these people are aware about the end. They are aware about life. They are aware about the truth about this life in which we are living. It's not forever. It's temporarily. Everything is counted. Nothing is missing, good or bad. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never be lost and never forgets. So they are keeping all this meaning. That means with this taqwa they have in their heart, they are watching themselves all the time. Watching, keeping an eye. What's going on? Why did I do this? Am I correct to do this? Am I not correct to do that? I'll give you another story. There is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ said, كل قرض جر نفعا فهو ربا. Any loan you give it to somebody and you benefit from the loan out of the money, it is riba. Yani for example, if I give you a loan, if I give Durrani a loan like £500, then because of the loan, he takes me to lunch. Then Prophet said, this is riba. Because without this loan, he wouldn't take me to this. So I'm trying to benefit from the loan, something extra, which is the lunch I'm having. And I'll give you a story. It happens to one of my actually relatives. One of my relatives wanted to travel from his city to Riyadh, which is about 400 kilometers. In that time, before he left, he told some friends that is he's going to leave in that day. In those days, people, of course, when you want to travel, people know about it, and they will give you sometimes, someone will come to you to say, well, can you take this bag with you? Give it to my cousin, give it to my mom. People are exchanging things, and they're using their traveling friends. Anyway, Sheikh Muhammad Uthaymeen, you all know him, rahimahullah. Sheikh Muhammad Uthaymeen, he knew that is this man, my relative, is going to leave for Riyadh. Then in that moment, he wanted to go to Riyadh himself too. He didn't have a car in that time. And then he said to him, are you really traveling? He said, yes. He said, do you have a vacant seat? Then I would like to go with you. He said, oh, Sheikh, it's my pleasure. When can I have a scholar with you all the way we talk? I ask all the questions I have. This is the best journey that I will have. It's only about 4 hours, 5 hours. Anyway, Sheikh joined them. When he came with him, they went with the car, they traveled till they reach Riyadh in about 5 hours. When they reach Riyadh, this man, the driver, my relative, he wants to say, okay, Sheikh, thank you very much. When maybe about 3 days I'm coming back, if you want to join me for the journey back, coming home. He said, thank you very much. Then Sheikh himself took from his money, from his pocket, some money and give it to my relative. He's actually one of my uncles. He said, Sheikh, how come? No way I'm going to take money from you. He said, no, you have to. He said, no, I cannot. Then Sheikh insists you have to. Then my uncle took the money. The son of my uncle was with him. He was between them actually, sitting in the seat. He said, Dad, this is shame that is you take from him money for the journey. Well, this is good. This is a great honor for us actually to bring him it. He said, no, you don't know. You don't understand what he wants. He said, what is it? He said, I loan him some money. So he is thinking of this hadith. So this journey will not be a result of the loan, so he paid for it. He paid for it, so it will be okay in the safe side. It's not something that is he benefited from the loan, that is the loan he gave me. So this, see how they think. Even my uncle forgets it, and the son of my uncle doesn't know about it. He was blaming his father. He said, how dare you take from him? He said, you don't understand his thing. He is thinking of this hadith, so he's watching this. He doesn't want to come very close to any kind of riba, even if it's not riba of money. He doesn't want that. You see, these two examples, actually, that is how to show us how these people are watching themselves, even with the small things. even with the small things. A lady came once to ask Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal. She said to him, Imam, I want to ask you a question. He said, yes. She said, well, I'm a poor person. I'm in a poor family. And my window, actually I have a big window in my home. And sometimes the night guards, usually in Baghdad, in the old cities, they have some people, they are like police in the night. They are just watching in the street, going around in those days there are no lights in the street. Of course, there was no electricity. Then what they do, they set fire in some corners sometimes. Okay? And then they put this fire or they hold it in their hands just to see who is going to protect safety and security for people. She said, the guards, they stand very close to my window with their lights. And I would like to read sometimes. Is it possible or is it haram for me or halal to read using the light from their light? Has any one of you thought about this in this meaning? And then Ahmad bin Hanbal himself, even Ahmad bin Hanbal, he was wondering how come, how did you get to this question? Then he said to her, may I know who you are, please? She said, I am the sister of Bishr al-Hafi. Bishr al-Hafi is one of the great worshippers of Islam, and is a great Sufi, but in the right way, not in the wrong way. And then he said, you are his sister. She said, yes. He said, then there is no wonder then you think of this question. So these people watching, even the things, the small things, the tiny things that is we never thought about. This is just, I'm not saying that you have to be like this, but I'm saying you have to always remember the taqwa and their meaning. These people watch that way so precisely, so deeply like this because the taqwa meanings is life in their hearts. It's there. It's always there. They don't forget it. And those people who forget it, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, نَسُوا اللَّهَ فَأَنْسَاهُمْ أَنفُسَهُم, they have forgotten Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala let them forget themselves. If you forget Allah, Allah will let you forget yourself. You think you forget Him, but Allah doesn't need you. You are forgetting yourself. So this is how it works. The taqwa means you are always keeping your eye and watching yourself, what you are doing in your life. Am I doing the good things? Am I doing the right things? At the same time, and this covers, of course, anything. All the things you think good are covered. All the things you think they are bad or bad actions, they are also covered, including everything. Everything in your life, from A to Z, they are all come in the taqwa. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used this common, comprehensive meanings word to cover everything. When He say ittaqullah, that means do all the good things and avoid all the bad things. In one word, ittaqullah, that's it. Then you are creating or you are making the taqwa, the protection between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect yourself from the punishment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you come to Him either in this life or in the hereafter. This is in general the taqwa, which is repeated more than 140 times in the Quran in different forms, sometimes as a noun, taqwa, sometimes as a verb, ittaqu Allah. أولئك هم أهل التقوى وأهل المغفرة. Those people who are the people of taqwa, those who know the taqwa. And أهل المغفرة, they deserve the forgiveness. They deserve the forgiveness when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive them. So this is how the Quran mentions it, and this is the meaning of the taqwa. And whenever, as I said, you have the real taqwa, the real meaning of it, that means you will lead you to observation, to watch yourself, and it will lead you also to another level, which is to be humble and to underestimate your work, not exaggerate about your work. You don't know who is closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even those people who come to pray, sometimes you don't see them praying so much like other people are all the time in the mosque. But who is closer to Allah? We don't know. He knows. It depends on hearts. It depends on intention. If you go to the mosque to pray, to let somebody see you, because of that, then this is void. It's nothing. But if you go for the sake of Allah, then Allah will accept it from you. If you do charity to let people see you are generous and you are okay, then it's void. It's not accepted. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept only the charity when you have the intention. That's why you see the good people, or those people who remember always this meaning, they try not to mention anything what they are doing. And they sometimes try to hide. They don't want. This explains to you why some people pray alone at home. because they want it to be purely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala 100%. Why some people, when they want to help, they give you something you don't know even, and some of them even give a person something and they say, who gave you this? Well, just make dua for him. That's it, nothing. They don't mention. They don't say, that's me, I got money, I remember you, I don't, no, there is no show about this. Just do it fi sabilillah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bless you and reward you in His own way. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has always mysterious and hidden ways that is we cannot. Sometimes some things happen in our lives, we don't understand why it happens that way. Sometimes after many, many years we realize, yes, this happens because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala maybe wants us to go that way. Now, really we are so grateful for this, alhamdulillah. It's always like this. We don't know the unseen in the future, but Allah knows. Allah sees everything. The past, the future, the present, everything. Nothing is covered or hidden from the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and from the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We trust Him. We have the meaning of taqwa in our hearts, and you will see how things actually look different. Another thing which actually the taqwa will create in your heart, that means the taste of your worship will be different. It will be very, very light. It will be actually enjoyable. You will enjoy it. Some people now when it's time for prayer, they feel tired or very lazy coming to pray. Maybe say, okay, after half an hour I'm going to pray. This could happen to all of us, by the way. Fine. Now, others, there are those who actually always remember these meanings, and this meaning is like a fire or like a candle which is alive, burning in their hearts. They will come to pray with joy. They love it. They feel after they finish praying, they are very relaxed. They are happy. There is a very sweet meaning in their hearts or relaxation in their mind. This is the meaning of prayer. And this is the people who realize the meaning of taqwa more than those who do not realize it. This is the difference. This is the difference. So the more you try to upgrade yourself, try. And as I said, remember always, life, all of it is a kind of struggle. So we always try. Today we fail, maybe tomorrow we succeed. Tomorrow so we're not succeeding the way we want, but the day after we'll try. As long as you are trying, you are okay. You are in the right way. As long as you give up and you say, khalas, I'm okay, I will not do it again, I'm so tired, that's it, then you are in danger. Or if you say, okay, I'm not going to try again, I am fine, I'm the best, then everything is okay, you are also at risk. So remember that, being humble, watching, this is the taqwa, which is actually the meaning of it in the whole Quran. Whenever you see it, this is the meaning which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran. And I hope also this is useful now, especially for one of the sisters here who just right now after the circle is going to become Muslim, inshallah. Inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much. I think if we can take some questions maybe.
Yes.
I don't know about the time, but I planned in my mind not to talk too much today because this is the first meeting.
Yes.
Maybe some people have or some of us have questions after the of course stopping for 2 years. Maybe it will be. Yeah, I'm sorry. This one is the problem is here. Just keep it in.
Right. Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khairan. Taqwa, a fantastic word. Prayer is protection. Praise is protection. You pray, that's taqwa. You're protecting because prayer means 5 times you pray, you clean yourself, wash yourself. You know you're not to do other things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given us a fantastic word here. Dr. Dubayan explained to it so perfectly. Protection about everything. 142 times Allah in Quran, Allah mentioned in Holy Quran. Amazing.
Jazakallah khair.
That's why I asked you.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much.
Any questions, please? Don't hesitate. Whatever comes in your mind.
I would suggest that is questions to be about the subject and also some questions
of course, yes.
After COVID.
Yes, after COVID, yes. Anything comes in your mind. Taqwa? Yes, please. MashaAllah, assalamu alaikum.
Okay, we all know what taqwa is. What do we do? How do we strengthen it?
How do we strengthen it?
Yeah, because he came late in this meeting.
Exactly.
He missed the first part of it. Yeah.
How do we strengthen it? Yeah.
Well, strengthening the meaning is to keep it always. Try to remember it all the time. Don't forget it. Always remember it. When you remember something, then every day you say, okay, today it will be better than yesterday. You are then remember it, and then you are trying to make it better. Tomorrow, you say, okay, I will do my best to be better than yesterday also. Every day you try to step upstairs, going up, up, up. It's like stairs. You're stepping upstairs, upstairs, upstairs. This is. The moment you stop, you think, khalas, you don't need to do anything. Then this is very bad. That's very bad. So how to go up? Actually, going up by, as I said, remembering it, doing the good things. Yani, for example, put in your plan for everybody. Try to do your prayers on time. Doing prayers on time, that will create in your life what we call it time management. If you really watch prayer time, then that will create this time management in your life. That's one. Number two, try every day to remember anybody around you who is in trouble. Relative, friend, neighbor, regardless Muslim or not Muslim, a human being. Try to help in a way, even with words. Some people you can help them with something you can give them. Some people you cannot do anything to their problems. That the nature of the problem is something beyond your abilities. But at least you can say good words to them, at least to keep them happy. Okay? Try to do a charity, even a small charity every day. The small charity, even one penny, let's say, or one less than or 20p, when this is actually comes with intention for fi sabilillah a day, then that will be something very good. That will be something good. That will you will remember it. And when you miss it one day, try to continue with the other way. Of course, you don't need to pay, for example, every day £100 or £200. As if you are not rich. No, but the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, 1 dirham sometimes is better than 1,000 dirham. How come 1 dirham? Let's say £1 is better than 1,000 pounds. Of course, if you give 1,000 pounds to someone who needs money, it would be for him better than one pound. But the Prophet ﷺ didn't mean that meaning. He means the benefit for you as a giver. If you give 1 dirham with the intention it is fi sabilillah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will benefit from it more than the 1,000 dirham you are giving it not fi sabilillah for something else. This is the meaning of it. So 1 dirham is better than 1,000. In the hadith, غَلَبَ دِرْهَمٌ أَلْفَ dirham. 1 dirham is better or comes over 1,000 dirham. Dirham is a kind of coin. Actually, Muslims used it during the days, even from the pre-Islamic time. Use it. Originally, the coin came from the Greek. Okay, and then Arabs before Islam, they didn't have, of course, coins, but they used the same coins because they are silver, made of silver. So they use them as a currency, and it comes also from the Sasanic Empire in Iran, in Persia at that time. These coins them, and the other one coins them also. So they use them. This is 1 dirham. This is the currency during the days of the Prophet ﷺ. And there is another one which is dinar. Dinar is gold. So 1 is better than 1,000. How come? It's for the donor himself. If he has the intention fi sabilillah, he will benefit from 1 with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than what he benefit from 1,000 dirham. That's another thing. Try also to remember every day in your life those who you have forgotten them. Some of us sometimes busy, and especially in London, those who live in London. London is a busy city. It keeps everybody busy, even if you have nothing to do. You got the feeling always they are busy, something going wrong, oh, something is not all right, I have to go out, I have to do this. This is a feeling of a big city like London. And it's always there in the big cities. It's not like when you live in a village or you live in the countryside. You have all the hours of the day, you can enjoy them. You will have enough time to have a cup of tea with your neighbor. You will go out to the market. You can cook your food. And you still have, I don't know how many hours in the day before the sun sets. In the city, you don't enjoy that. You are running from the moment you wake up from your bed till the moment you come back to your bed, running from corner to another. This is the nature of life. Now, within this hectic time, we forget many things. There are many good things that we forget in our life. For example, are we happy at home with the people, with us, actually the people with whom we live at home? Are we happy with them? Do we have good relations? We have many of us live together in the same family with their parents, even sometimes, and that's even worse if it's the parents, or sisters, or granddaughters or grandsons, and every day there is a quarreling, fighting, misunderstanding. Why don't we fix this? When you come to fix it, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are fixing it not because you avoid only the problem. This is the result, will come automatically. But I'm doing this listening to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. Believers are brothers. فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ. Try to fix the relation between. This is in the Quran. This is the verse in the Quran. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ. Try to fix it. If they are my parents, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ لَا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala urge you just to worship Him because He's the only one who deserves to be worshipped, and to do the best to your parents. Regardless, by the way, they are Muslims or not Muslims. Some new Muslims, they think when I become Muslim, then okay, I cut relation with my parents. That's not true in Islam. No, Islam wants you to be a very good example for your mom and your dad. When they see how deep the change you're having in your life, they will then come to Islam themselves. They will feel, well, this is right. This is correct. Show them the good model of Islam through your manners, through your behavior, fi sabilillah, for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is the taqwa, and then the result of it, Allah will give you His blessing. When the blessing of Allah comes in your life, it's not only the blessing will be in time, the blessing will be in money, the blessing will be in your children, the blessing will be in your home, the blessing will be in your health, the blessing will be in everything you do it. Everything. Now, for example, I will show you how the blessing is this time. If you see now the books written by the old scholars in Islam, yani someone writes like Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani rahimahullah, who explained Sahih al-Bukhari. He made commentary on Sahih al-Bukhari. Well, if you print this book now in the modern, then it will be at least 25 volumes. That's one of his books, not all the books. Ibn Taymiyyah, if we now print all his books, we will get about 300 volumes. Now the question is, when did these people write all these things? How did they manage with it? No, this is when they wrote it. Leave the time when they learned, when they were children, when they went to school or to the mosque to learn. So when how could they achieve this? This is the blessing of time. Allah gave them the blessing of time. And one of the signs, by the way, of the end of times, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned of the hadith, that is the blessing of time will be less. Till, as the Prophet said, till 1 year will be like 1 month, and 1 month will be like 1 week. And this is what we are attending now. Yes. Now, in the morning, you wake up and you have a plan. I'm going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then the whole day you have done maybe 1 or 2. Yeah. While you see those who are old or live already in villages or in small cities and live today, actually still alive today, they realize what I mean. How come they had enough time before with a lot of work, without telephones, without mobile, without computer, without cars sometimes, and they achieve a lot. And today we have all these possibilities and we achieve little. That's the blessing. That's the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's the same of blessing and health, everything. When you have this intention every day, this is the taqwa, you are strengthening it. The moment you forget these meanings, you just live and you think everything is all right, then you have to watch. You have to watch really yourself. You have to be very careful with your iman. Jazakallah khair. I hope I have answered you. I know some friends blame you always. They say you talk too much. I know that. I admit.
Dr. Dubayan knows that.
No, because a lot of meaning comes together in the same mind.
We enjoy.
Yeah.
Dr. Dubayan goes here and there. It's also knowledge. It's all knowledge. That's all I tell him. You got knowledge,
okay.
Deliver it. He does that.
Then maybe.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you very much. Thank you. Any questions? Sisters, any questions? Don't be shy. No? Brothers, questions?
Especially the new sisters who come for the first time.
Yeah, go on then.
With the taqwa, to achieve the taqwa, we need to read the Quran with the meanings and connect with the lessons. And the more we understand and the more we do zikr Allah,
Yes.
that's the robe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we read here, we understand and we
It's true.
the spiritual side of that and reminded all the time,
Yes.
then we
it's true. Yes, it's true. Jazakallah khair, sister. That's correct, yes. That's a good addition.
MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Anything else? After 2 years we are here, 100 session on Zoom.
When you don't have questions, that means everything is all right.
Everything is very good, mashallah. Everything is good.
Everybody agrees with what we are saying.
Of course,
yeah.
of
Okay.
course. Jazakallah khair. So nice. Nice to see everybody. I tell you that honestly. We've been locked for 2 years, you know. It wasn't very nice, but never mind.
Well, I'm happy. I'm really happy that we meet again. We are back.
We are back. Inshallah, the circle will grow again.
Inshallah.
People will tell other people, circle is on. People are always talking.
One thing actually, I want to mention, if you allow me to mention this for all of you, please. And it's good also Brother Ayaz is here with us. I need to collect really some ideas regarding the Islamic Circle. So if you have, please, some subjects or themes that you think is good to talk about, or if you suggest maybe other speakers to come to be actually received here and welcome here, or whatever actually. Brother Ayaz, which email we can use? Media? Okay, use please this email. Brother Ayaz is the IT person in the center, and he is actually the hero also behind the scene.
Oh God, yes, in Zoom, yeah. Without him.
And then send please any suggestion related to the Islamic Circle about the subjects, about the themes, about the speakers, about anything you suggest. Feel free, by the way, feel free to criticize. Feel free to criticize me, don't worry. I will not be angry. No. I will be happy. If this criticism is going to improve our level, please do it. Yes, please do it. Use media at iccuk.org. Media at iccuk.org. ICCUK is abbreviation of Islamic Cultural Center, United Kingdom. Please use it to improve it. I would be so happy to receive your suggestions. Maybe you think after COVID now we should really start to talk about new subjects.
Yeah, great.
I always with Brother Durrani try to actually not to be only religious issues. Today we talk about taqwa, but in other Saturdays we talk about social issues, we talk about historical issues, we talk once about biographies, about imams, about the history of the Quran, about many things.
Especially what people are doing outside.
Exactly.
Muslim
so if there is, inshallah, we would like to welcome also some speakers like Professor here who is with us today. Anybody. If any of you also finds himself or herself is able to deliver a talk in the Islamic Circle, please, I will be so happy also to agree with for that. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
What Dr. Dubayan is saying, you can bring any topic you want. It doesn't have to be Quran. Any topic in your mind you want to talk about it. So let's discuss this topic. And we will find a speaker who will deliver that.
Inshallah.
There's no problem there.
Inshallah.
As I said earlier on, Ayaz is sitting there. Without him, the 100th session of Zoom would have never taken place. I said to people, if he was in the mosque, Zoom will go on. It's like, he gave me promise and he kept his promise, mashallah. Jazakallah khair. This is such a great job he's done, I tell you. Jazakallah khair. Now, brothers and sisters, because of COVID-19 and all that, we thought we'll have a tea and biscuit separately. We don't deliver it. Please, you can come help yourself, okay? So next week, the speaker is Brother Nuruddin Kaluki. Inshallah, he'll give the talk 3 o'clock. I don't know whether we are up or down. I'm not sure yet. And I'll find out. So let's close the meeting with...
you will find it on the website.
At the Wilson. Let's close the meeting with one asr. A'udhu billahi min shaitan. Sorry.
Dr. Saeed.
Dr. Saeed is resting at the moment. Am I right?
I
took my meeting.
Please come. I thought he asked you. You said no. Come along.
Come, doctor.
Come along. I did say that, but he said no. Come along. Please.
Thank you.
It wouldn't be Islamic Circle without your recitation, doctor.
It's very kind.
Wait.
That's one side. This one. Yes. And the time.
Yes. I did ask him when he was here. Yeah, I forgot. Inshallah, I will continue reciting Surah Al-Ankabut, that is chapter 29. verses 14 to 23. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I seek refuge with Allah from Satan the outcast. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful. وَلَقَدْ أَرْسَلْنَا نُوحًا إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ فَلَبِثَ فِيهِمْ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ إِلَّا 50 عَامًا فَأَخَذَهُمُ الطُّوفَانُ وَهُمْ ظَالِمُونَ. We sent Noah out to his people. He lived among them for 50 years, short of 1,000. But when the flood overwhelmed them, they were still doing evil. فأنجيناه وأصحاب السفينة وجعلناها آية للعالمين. We saved him and those with him on the ark. We made this a sign for all people. وإبراهيم إذ قال لقومه اعبدوا الله واتقوه ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. We also sent Abraham. He said to his people, serve Allah and be mindful of him. That is better for you, if only you knew. إنما تعبدون من دون الله أوثانا وتخلقون إفكا إن الذين تعبدون من دون الله لا يملكون لكم رزقا فابتغوا عند الله الرزق واعبدوه واشكروا له إليه ترجعون. What you worship instead of Allah are mere idols. What you invent is nothing but falsehood. Those you serve instead of Allah have no power to give you provisions. So seek provisions from Allah, serve Him, and give Him thanks. You will all be returned to Him. وَإِن تُكَذِّبُوا فَقَدْ كَذَّبَ أُمَمٌ مِّن قَبْلِكُمْ وَمَا عَلَى الرَّسُولِ إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ. If you say this is a lie, be warned that other communities before you said the same. The messenger's only duty is to give clear warnings. أَوَلَمْ يَرَوْا كَيْفَ يُبْدِئُ اللَّهُ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ يُعِيدُهُ إِنَّ ذَلِكَ عَلَى اللَّهِ يَسِيرٌ. Do they not see that Allah brings life into being and produces it? Truly, this is easy for Allah. قُلْ سِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَانظُرُوا كَيْفَ بَدَأَ الْخَلْقَ ثُمَّ اللَّهُ يُنْشِئُ النَّشْأَةَ الْآخِرَةَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. Say, travel throughout the earth and see how He brings life into being, and He will bring the next life into being. Allah has power over everything. يُعَذِّبُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَرْحَمُ مَنْ يَشَاءُ وَإِلَيْهِ تُقْلَبُونَ. He punishes whoever He will and shows mercy to whoever He will. You will all be returned to Him. وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَلَا فِي السَّمَاءِ وَمَا لَكُمْ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ مِنْ وَلِيٍّ وَلَا نَصِيرٍ. You cannot escape Him on earth or in the heavens. You will have no one to protect or help you besides Allah. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ وَلِقَائِهِ أُولَئِكَ يَئِسُوا مِنْ رَحْمَتِي وَأُولَئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ أَلِيمٌ. Those who deny Allah's revelation and their meetings with Him have no hope of receiving my grace. They will have a grievous time. صدق الله العظيم. Allah the Almighty has stated the truth. Thank you.
Jazakallah khair, Dr. Saeed. Alhamdulillah. Visiting Holy Quran. People who don't know, in the Zoom, Dr. Saeed decided continuously. Today I did ask him, but I thought he said no, the misunderstanding was there. Forgive me for that, please. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
And you know, Dr. Saeed's got the whole Holy Quran. You can go and listen to it on YouTube. It's there. Dr. Saeed Abdullah. You can find out, no problem there. You can see that. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Saeed. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Next week, Brother Nuruddin Kaluki will give a talk. Inshallah, I'll let you know exactly where you are. Any email and WhatsApp and whatnot. Let's close the meeting with Wala sir. A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wala sir. إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam wa sayyidina wa sahbihi ajma'in. Brothers and sisters and friends, thank you very much, Dr. Dubayan. Thank you, Dr. Sayyid, and of course, Ayat out here. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Brother, please help yourself with refreshment. As I said,